So, hello Yasser. Can you just introduce yourself? What's your name? Where you come from?
So I'm Yasser Al Ahmadieh. My artist name is Yas, an abbreviation of Yasser. I come from Lebanon. I live in Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. If I'm gonna talk musically, I'm trying to do a combination of my ethnic Oriental style that is known in the Middle East and try to get it abroad by mixing it in some Western vibes, if you want to call it.
That's very interesting, and the music you are working on, we will talk about it in very shortly. I wonder can you describe how you came across the program in Lithuania and the music production, and how did you get there?
Yeah. So basically, I was really eager to get somewhere in my music because my parents wanted me to have a degree in music, not just like have it as a hobby. And it was really hard to convince them that I want to really study music because they're like, okay, do business at least, do something that you can work with, like have a bank job, or because my parents come from a education background because they have a school in Lebanon and they teach young kids and stuff. So they're like, this is what music, this is nothing. It will not put food on the table. I was really eager to no, I want to do music. So after all, they were like, okay, you can do that. I tried like 3 universities in Lebanon, but it was really poor. Even the money wise, it's really expensive to study here in private universities. And public universities don't give really good music programs. So I started searching online. First of all, I found BMI in Germany and Berlin. But Berlin is Berlin and the expenses are really high. Even though I got accepted and everything, there was some problems money-wise and visa-wise. So I was really depressed at that time, because I was like, okay, now I can't do anything. I'm gonna be stuck in Lebanon again. Can't do. So I was with my girlfriend at that time. She was trying to help me. She was searching all the websites and everything. And then suddenly she heard about VMU. And it was the first time, to be honest, to hear about Lithuania, because I was like, Lithuania, okay, this is interesting. I need to know more about it. So I continued my research about the country. First of all, it was like, it's super cold, like minus, minus 10, minus 20. So it was, okay, this is interesting. And that's it. So I was like, I'm going to apply, but I didn't have high hopes, to be honest, because it was like, I tried it and I was like, how to say it? It didn't work out at the first time. So I was like, don't give high hopes, just do it, and you never know what's gonna happen. And that's how it happened.
Well, it's a very interesting story. And I wonder, how many years do you compose music already? What is your experience?
Uh-huh. So I started playing the drums, the hand drum. We call it tabla here in Lebanon and Turkey.
Yes.
So I was like 5, 6 years old. My dad, because I had family issues between my mom and my dad. And my dad was always trying to put me in music. So as a kid, you need something to, you know. So I started with the tabla, and he was like, okay, he's really good and everything. So we need to push him further and to continue in music. Then I went to piano at the age of 9, 10 years old. This is I'm talking about the practice part. And my first composition was, I guess, when I was like 15, 16, my real composition, like actually having lyrics because my grandpa is a writer, he's an Arabic writer and lyricist. So he wrote something for me and I composed. And he was really happy, like for him, it's like his grandson is composing something. Like, wow, he's really good. But to be honest, it wasn't good at all. It was like really, really simple, like just 3 chords and basic major chords. So, but then I felt from that composition that this is something that I love. It's my passion. So I chose to be a musician. I really like that. And since that day, I started trying to compose on my piano, and then thinking like, how do I need to do it more complex? So I went into production, heard about Fruity Loops, downloaded it, started getting VSTs and all of that. And yeah, this is how it all started.
That's really interesting hearing your story. And what does you inspire you, in your creative work? Do you have some sources of inspiration?
Yeah, since I was a kid, I was really influenced by a woman called Fairuz. Fairuz is she's really known in the Middle East, even in some Western, like in France, she was really known at some point. She was the first woman to actually do a combination between Western music, because in Oriental music, there's this how to say quarter note, as you say, and some Westerns think it's a detune, it's something that's not right, because it's more complex. There's a story that the first time a Western musician heard the quarter, it was like there's something wrong. Stop, like we always talk about this. So that woman was really known because she was the first lady to remove the Oriental scale and just sing on Western music. And she even has like music composed by Mozart, for example. I can't remember which piece exactly, but it's really known. So she just got the music and um, did like sang, in Arabic on it. And it was really interesting for me because I was always used to listen to Arabic and Oriental music. It was like, oh, this is something new, You start to think that you can go in really high levels and try some new stuff. So until this day, I'm still really, now she's 80 years old. Of course, she stopped to sing, but I always get back to her and listen to her music. Even her husband was the composer of her music, so it was like a family kind of, talent. So it was really interesting, as well as ethnic people who always go back to the roots and try to do music like not forgetting about your roots, but at the same time building up on it. So everyone that does this is a very big inspiration for me.
It's fantastic how you can actually blend those two cultures in the music and show how they can cooperate. I think that's a big mission you can also take as an artist. So you mentioned working on songs, and your grandpa was creating lyrics. Do you create lyrics yourself? How do you work on songs?
I tried to in English. In Arabic, it didn't work out. It was hard for me. That's why I get people to help me in that. But in English, in the time I was in Lithuania, I was missing my family. I was missing my. And as composers, we do best when we feel pain or like we feel when you miss someone. So I actually did something, and it was okay, I guess, because I showed it to some people, and they were like, "This is something." So maybe someday I can release something that has my lyrics, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, what does make a good song, in your opinion, or a good composition?
Uh-huh. Usually when I used to study music, like I was in the conservatory and used to study Beethoven and Mozart, we used to know that good music needs to be really complex. Like it has to have really, the scale should be really interesting, and the changes and the articulations. This is how I studied when I was in Lebanon before going abroad. But nowadays, since there's a lot of technology and there's a lot of people doing music, you see that some songs have nothing, just three layers, and they're booming. They're really booming. So this gives you another type of thinking that you should really not care. Like nowadays, a good song should be catchy. This is it. Have like a catchy hook, and I guess it will be a boom. Like if just TikTokers use it, it means that you're out of this world. And it's kind of sad because some people are working really hard on their music, okay, and they really study at the same time to improve their music. And then at the end of the day, you get a guy that plays the guitar that gives you just three or four chords, and this is really weird. Like I heard the song 3 days ago. It says like pa para para pa. This is the hook. And it's booming. It's Arabic song. It's an Arabic song, and it's being played in New York and America. And this is really weird, just because of TikTok. So
All right. Well, that's the challenge, right? To have something to be unique at the same time and be recognized in the audience.
mhm.
Now, how can you be found on the internet? Do you have a Spotify or SoundCloud? How you connect to your audiences?
I had a Spotify since 3 years, but I just noticed that I can access my Spotify like 3 weeks ago, and I felt really dumb somehow, because like I was talking to the manager of the label, and he was telling me, "Oh, you didn't know that?" I was like, "You should have told me, because you're the manager, just introduce me to this world, the online music industry." So I actually claimed my profile. I only had anyways like 2 tracks, and I found out by that time that I had a track that has about 65,000 listeners on Spotify. And to me, like I'm used to 100 views per song. I found that it has 60,000, 65,000. I was like, whoa, this is, you know. So I directly contacted the guy of the label, and I was like, "You should have told me that. I would have been motivated more by that." So yeah, I have Instagram, I have Facebook, the major things, and I use Linktree. So instead of people going, they just go to my Instagram, press my Linktree link, and they can find all my accounts on there: Spotify, Angami, like the Arab world. You can find SoundCloud, YouTube, everything.
When you found those streaming results, so do you know who is your audience? Do you care who is your audience?
I cared about the main thing, that more females are listening to me. I was like, whoa, okay. I'm just kidding. But like yeah, like it's really international, because I'm using Arabic sounds, Oriental sounds. And I was astonished to know that people from Australia and from the US and from parts of Europe, they're listening to my music and they're liking it. And you see, and like they put it in playlists, and you see, let's say people are listening to it, let's say 100 people are listening. You see that 200, there's 200 stream per, like, or like 150 streams per 100 people. So you know that people are repeating it. So, or like saving it. So this is really motivational. You feel like, okay, I should do more of that sound because people liked it. So
Yeah, well, and so do you think about why your audience should be listening to your music? Any particular, things you want to convey, message or technological aspects? What is
yeah,
that?
yeah. I was thinking at first to do two names, one name for each sound, but then I was like, okay, no, just stick to one and try to show your message. My message is, as I said, I always had the dream of combining two musical styles. It can be orchestral with like electronic, or like electronic with Western, and show my culture to people. Because people nowadays still thinks that we as Arabs, or like as Lebanese, we still write camels and stuff because of our music. So I need to show the different image of that. Because we as Arabs, we have to go to Europe and to America in order to people will respect and listen to our music. And it's really proven. So I need to using that electronic scene that is more like dancey vibe, as you were asking me, like what is it used for? We can use it for club music, for example. It can be as chill music or dancey, more hard type. And at the same time, working on a, like, it's gonna be not Yaz, let's say, in the song name. It would be more artist name, song name, and then produced by me. It would be just as a producer. This would be more of like romantic, chill out type of music that has more messages. Let's say rap music, or it can be popish, more poppy, like commercial. This will have just like a, again, to have my identity, but at the same time giving out like, look, we have a culture, we have something to show you guys. It would be interesting hearing different style merge in one track, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting. Now, let's take a look at very briefly. We will listen to the track "Omen." Can you tell us more about this track? What is it about?
When you think Omen, you're like, God, but it's much easier than that. I got a new laptop, and the name is HP Omen. So I was like, okay, this is my first track on this laptop, so I'm gonna use Omen. Really, it's not like really complex, because people are like, oh, Omen, how did you get this name? So because I was suffering a lot with my old laptop. As producers, you need really good equipment. So my dad is in the States now, so he got me this laptop with him. I was like, wow, now I can really produce. And if you hear the track, you see it has some trancey. Trance is like starts with 138 BPM, but its elements is like progressive. Just talking about the elements, progressive melodic, because I love melodies. You see me, if you give me four chords, I can give you more than 50 melodies. I swear to God, like this is my strength. I can write really good melodies. So I wrote the melodies. At the same time, at some parts you hear the Oriental vibe, like the vocal, the woman that's singing, the vocal, it takes you to the Oriental side, and then you hear buzuk, we call it buzuki. And it's
Yeah.
a type of stringed instrument. You see it going in and playing some notes. It's merging between deep house or house music and then going to Oriental house.
What is the pleasant part of music production for you, and what is the unpleasant part? What is something you really hate about?
I was looking at a post that was saying like the hardest part in music production that nobody enjoys is doing work to make people enjoy and like it instead of you liking it. And it happens a lot nowadays. uh, because you don't put all of your passion in it, because you know that this is something that someone asked you to do, gave you money to do it. But we all need that at the end of the day. Like, I can show you something my friend got me as a gift. It says here Melodies, okay? Melodies is my name, the studio name that I work in now in Lebanon. And then here he put Yas, okay, as in the artist name. I was like, this should be bigger because this is my passion and this is the work for money. Do you understand the idea of it? Because
Yeah.
just for money, because to survive. I don't even put my name in it. It's just under the studio's name. So it's really hard to work on something that you don't really feel, but because people want it that way, you just do it.
Maybe if you compare the other kind of work, if you needed to work on a fast food restaurant, that's still a better option to do something music related.
Exactly. True. Because it's work, and work is known that it should be hard to get money. It's really hard to get money.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a bit better than, as you said, working in a restaurant, because it's still music. But when you're working in music without passion, I guess this is not music related as an artist.
Mm. All right, let's go to something more pleasant. Let's talk about the software and hardware you're using. What is your favorite? What is your setup?
My setup is not as complex. It's just two focal speakers, 8 inch, and then there's this MIDI keyboard. It's just 4 octaves that I use. Laptop, big screen for my mixer to work in a better way. Keyboard, mouse, and the Rode NT1A microphone with the stand and everything. So, but with this, you can really make hit music. Nowadays, with this setup, you can make really amazing songs and really clean ones, because I even do my mastering and mixing because, we can't really afford that now and at this stage to get a sound engineer. But I'm doing okay, as mixing and mastering there. Now you can tell that it's not bad.
Absolutely. And do you use more oftenly presets and sounds and which come from the system, or you create them by yourself?
Yeah, I have a like rule. If it sounds good, keep it that way, even if it's a preset. Okay, presets are made to make our life easier. This is how I think. Some people tell you, okay, now you're doing some other guy did this for you. I don't care. I'm just finishing. This is something I love. Keep it. But mostly, I get the preset, I tweak it, I add on it, I remove. This is my main work. But sometimes I keep presets. Sometimes I do.
Okay, that's interesting to know. I think for other people also how things are done. For yourself, do you have a producer you are inspired by, or you kind of really feel amazed, or maybe just to kind of look upon and just kind of follow and see what's going on?
There's different ones like talking internationally. I respect, let's say, he's really into commercial music. For example, DJ Snake. Okay, he comes from Algeria. He moved to Europe. He was actually born there. That's why it was easier for him to shine. But it's really interesting that he came from zero. He didn't know anyone at that time, and he started with "Turn Down for What," which was a boom and all around the world. And then he actually continued. It wasn't like a one-time boom. Let's say Avicii. I'm talking about electronic music now. Avicii, how he came from nothing as a Swedish young guy at the age of 18, having a boom. It was, you really have to respect these guys. And working as me, as an upcoming producer, having just a laptop and a MIDI controller and just small speakers, he actually did a hit. So you really get inspired from those people. And because people were telling him like, this is not this. What is this? This is not music. And it was playing tape at Tomorrowland, but I don't know how many people watching. So this is really inspiring.
Yeah, that's fantastic that we can do these kind of things from where we are, and that's really really amazing. I totally agree. Now, I assume you work a lot, right? You really spend a lot of hours in the studio.
Oh, endless.
All right, let's talk about the time when you're not working, when you are having, let's say, free time. What do you do? What is your hobby?
How is music? If I'm not doing anything, I'm still thinking of music the whole time. Trust me. Even my girlfriend always has fights with me. Like, stop. This is, once I went to her house. It was meant to be our time together. I actually took my laptop with me because she has really fast internet. I put my laptop and I was downloading some VSTs because I needed that for my next session. She was like, stop, man, you can't do that. No, there's no way you can do that. Like, this is my passion. I swear, like, okay, sometimes I work out, because you're just sitting the whole day, and I'm someone who smokes, so you need to just have your energy floating. You can't just keep sitting and have back pains and everything, drinking coffee the whole time. So I sometimes do sports. I sometimes go out with her, with our friends, just to keep the social life going on, because you can't really be in four. I don't even have a window in my studio to see the sun, so it's really harsh. It's because it's something we love. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's in your blood. And I wonder if you listen to the music by the others, other producers or composers.
Yes, a lot.
Do you have
I
anything
really
favorite?
look. Um, I don't have a. It's not like I think, oh, this is my best, I have to listen to him. I listen to everything. Like I see the charts, I go deep into the charts, listen to see how is the music is changing, what elements are new, what's the most popular nowadays, to see how to do with my music. But in Lebanon, because I work also, I told you, in Arabic, we have really good producers here that work for, like, let's say, the Gulf, and the people from Morocco come here to do music. So I listen to them to see what's new in Lebanon, what are they doing new. So this is how I listen. This is how, because I sometimes DJ as well. So you need to keep updated what's new, what's released. So yeah.
Yeah, that's important that you keep an eye on these
Mhm.
developments. I wonder if you ever think also consciously, why do you think those producers or singers, artists should hire you? Is there anything you really try to keep well or under your attention in your character or anything in the performance?
Yes, it's the first time is to show them that you're like them. You're the mirror, Like, even though it's not me, sometimes I don't know if that's bad, but sometimes I do see someone, I know how he thinks, how he acts, or how she acts.
That's very very good what you are saying, that you care about their vision, what they are looking for in their
Mhm.
music. Now I wonder. Now you're working on their dreams, and what are your dreams? Who do you want to be?
My dreams is, talking musically, of course, is to reach my plan, my getting people to respect my music, and actually be in the studio doing working on a track, and knowing that there's people that are waiting for me to release this track, not just my friend and my dad and my father, my uncle or family. I don't want that. I want strangers to actually wait for the music and be really excited, you know. And once you get there, you know that you're what you're doing got there. It entered homes, entered clubs, entered, I don't know. I want my music to be heard and respected, and have a name someday. It might take 20 years, it might take 30 years, but since I'm giving it all my time, all my passion, all my energy, I swear. So I should get there. I don't know when, but I hope so one day.
Okay, I know it's a bad question, but still, what about Plan B? Is there one?
Zambi is going to the studio every day from, I don't know, 10 till 8 in the evening, having breaks, okay, just working for people and working on their dreams. This can always happen. But to be honest, I wouldn't be a happy guy. I would doing, as I told you before, I would just come here, have to talk with them and make them feel happy. But at the same time, I'm doing it for the money, to be honest. I really am. So this is not what I want. No.
Yeah, all right, but you have Plan B. That's also good.
We have, yes, yes.
Let's talk about your another track, Walaw, which we will be listening shortly. Can you tell it more about it?
Walaw is the original song was released in 1945 by Wadia Safid. He's a known Lebanese. He's one of the big images in Lebanon, folklore, the music and stuff. So I got a friend. This one has vocals, like sang in Arabic. I'm sorry that you can't really understand, but I will tell you what's the story behind it. So the lyrics talk about, like, Walau means like, come on, how would you forget us? We were really close as family, as friends, as I don't know. And then you suddenly went out of our lives. Like, he's talking to them, to those people. Like, why did you go? Come back and stuff. So I got a friend of mine. He has a really nice Oriental voice, and we recorded it at my studio. And I did type of remix type this. Okay, so it was like a cover, more of a cover. You can call it. It has a build up, it has a drop, it has also, as always, some Oriental vibes. Let's say I had a violin in it. So I hope you like it, guys. I don't know.
All right. Okay, let's take a look.
اسمي على شفاف الوفا كنا ولو 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 كفت هالأسى كله مهما جرى بالبال بتضل أمان حبيبي.
Yeah, let's talk about the music producer's skills. But what do you think? What kind of skills a music producer needs to have to be successful?
Yeah, that's why I was asking if you're talking about just musical skills, not like dealing with people and the business world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need to be happy with your sound. You can't be like, oh, I'm doing really good when your sound is muddy or, you know. So you should first of all know your weakness. Everyone has weakness. Yeah, I've been producing for 6 7 years. I still have a lot of weakness, and I know that. And I'm always on YouTube trying to learn and ask everything. So you should know what's wrong and work on that. It might take you 2 days. It might take you a whole month to try and error. But find what's wrong and work on it. Let's say I had problems with mixing low frequencies. My kick was hitting on myself the whole time. It took me more than 2 weeks to understand why this is happening. Eventually, I fixed it, and now I'm really happy every time. And now it's a piece of cake. Just do it really fast because it's a technique that you learn, and these techniques will go forever with you. You won't lose anything because you're always practicing, always doing music.
Yeah, that's important to improve those techniques. Do you consider yourself as always learning and educating yourself?
Oh, every day, every time I come to the studio, every day. Sometimes it's something really, really feel like this is nothing, like knowing that an XLR has, let's say, three teeth. So sometimes, oh, okay, something really stupid. Sometimes that nothing, but mostly people, the vibe, opening the laptop. Sometimes I still learn new techniques in my dough, like some new knobs. Oh, this is much easier. I should use this way now. So there's something to learn every day.
Absolutely. And when you are stuck, for example, you are in the work in progress and you cannot finish the track, what do you do?
I have 175 unreleased track because I didn't know what to do with them. You have one really good part, but you're not happy with the others. So sometimes what I do is I send it over to others. Let's collab. Give me your ideas. I send it to artists who sing or write. Like, try for me, try. But other than that, it's really common that you get stuck and be like, okay, I don't know what to do next. So what? Sometimes I leave it and come back. Sometimes I just leave it and never come back.
So you keep it as a natural flow as possible.
Maybe someday, but I keep them. Maybe someday you have someone that you feel, oh, this style it suits that guy. So you open the session and try it out. It might, it might work.
Yes, absolutely. I wonder if you could share any of the disaster stories you have, or some stories you learned from as a mistake you had done, or anything that would be worth sharing to the others.
I wanna try to think about the worst mistake. Like sometimes recording. I was thinking I'm recording, let's say, mono. It happened to be stereo, or like one time I was recording and it happened that only the left part or channel was recording, and then we recorded for like 5-6 hours. I went back to my studio where I work. It happened to be like nothing was recorded right, and it had some background noises. And okay, noise, you can treat that with post production. Some okay, fine. But what can you do with the left pan? Okay, I can hear with one ear. I tried it panning it to the right. It was gone. So I had to re-record everything. And the artist like, oh, you don't know how to do your job. You have to do that again, and so it's not gonna be as perfect as the first time. It was what can I do? I had to pay that. But now I know that before starting a session, have everything centered. Okay, try first, good to go. Okay, now we can record. So you really learn from those. It's not like it just happens for nothing. You really learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that every one of us who work with audio had similar situations. So that's a common law. You need to pass that failure to get there. All right, we are almost going to the end, and it's really nice talking to you. I wonder if you have some dreams. Let's say you are 60 years old, right? That's far long shot, but still, anything you want to say who you are over there in the future.
Like talking in my 60 years old tongue, you mean?
When you are 60 years old, who are you?
That I never really thought about. Good one. That's a really good question. Well, I hope that I can still walk, because I don't want to be negative, but my lifestyle is hard, because working in the studio the whole day, like, now I'm talking with you, I'm not even sitting back, because I got used to sitting like that. I hope I can still go out and, have the energy. But I hope that I have maybe grandsons at that time, and they'd be like, oh, my grandpa is that guy that used to be on Billboard. That's a very huge dream. That's one way.
That's a fair dream. I'm really looking forward to making it happen and still be there to see that
but
and witness.
It's usually it's type of kidding, but usually if you have the good health, this is the most important thing. You have good health, have someone you love is next to you. This is really the best.
That's fantastic. That's the very, very best answer I could really take from you. Yasser, I'm really pleased to talk to you today, and really it was really nice to have you. And we wish you all the best, in your life, and we'll be looking over, and we'll be supporting you, at least in the bottom of our hearts, that you will be successful and reaching out the sky. Okay?
I really appreciate those words, and I really thank your time. Thank you for everyone who was watching us and was with us.
Yeah.
Because I can't, but thank you for everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Yasser.